Hello everybody, it's been a while since I've done a video and I just wanted to quickly get the brown ale review in before it's too late. I wanted to do a from brew to review type of thing, but I've just been really too busy. I do have some brew day footage from the brown ale, but the problem is I ran across some issues with my brew house lately. I had, first of all, my solid state relay went out in the middle of mashing and it just went to shit. I had to manually control everything. I was ripping wires out and connecting everything. I'm surprised I didn't get electrocuted. It was a disaster. Um, so what I ended up doing is just getting a little bit of video here and there, me getting pissed off a few times, as we all do. It's not the first disaster I've had in the brew house lately. I tried to brew a blonde ale. I don't know if you can see it. That blonde ale. It's in secondary now. But that blonde ale, in the middle of the boil, my circuit breaker, I have a differential that burned out in the middle of boil. So screwed up my hop additions, had to run to the hardware store, change it out in the middle, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a basic blonde. It's for a party for St. Patrick's Day, i.e. my wife's birthday, but it's being pushed out. We're celebrating it on the Easter week because that's a big deal here in Spain. Yeah, my wife was born on St. Patrick's Day. Her last name is Ailes. Yeah, like beer. It's actually pronounced Ales, but I'll take Ailes. I mean, I love beer. I married a woman with a beer name who was born on St. Patrick's Day. I mean, it's bound to happen, right? Anyway, I digress. Anyway, there's just been a lot of disaster. So the video footage I've been taking lately is full of me swearing and me being pissed off and not really feeling like videotaping. Everybody's had it. I mean, everybody has had issues with their brew days at some point or another that just went completely wrong and threw off your plans to video it. But I'll get something together to possibly R rating, possibly PG-13. We'll just see. It's just it just hasn't been a really good video recording time. It's just been awful. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this brown ale into a glass and I'll tell you a little bit about it later. Okay, now how do I pause this thing? Ta-da! Look how fast that was. Isn't that a beautiful head? Look at that. Just a really nice creamy head. You can't really see it much in this because the lighting here is not so great, but it's definitely a brown ale. Let me get a small sample here. And you probably see the color a lot better here. You see, it's more like there you go, a coffee color. You see, really nice. Smells roasty. It uses chocolate malt, and that really comes through. There's definitely a dark chocolate character to it. Now, smelling it, there is just a hint of the Columbus hops that was used in this. Now, Columbus is actually a good choice. I didn't think Columbus, with its nature, would have been really, really good in a brown ale, to be honest with you, but it smells fantastic. Now, let me tell you a little bit about it. This is a toasted oatmeal brown ale from the Rock on Beer blog. If you haven't seen the Rock on Beer blog, Google it. Alex Rock has a Rock on Beer video blog right here on YouTube. You can see, I've mentioned it in the past, but I'll put a link down below. If you don't see it immediately, be patient. I'm going to upload this from my phone directly to YouTube, but I'll certainly edit later. But anyway, his video reviews and his life in Denmark, good stuff. Really check it out. I mean, if you're really into beer and hearing about other people's experiences with brewing and beer and his life there in Denmark, tune in. It's good stuff. Good job, Alex. Really good job. There's a side note. that I discovered a little bit late, and I was expecting that when I toasted the oats, because this is a toasted oatmeal, when I toasted it golden brown, I was anticipating that aroma of like oatmeal raisin cookies, and that didn't happen, because when you dry toast oats, there's an aroma that comes off that. It's very, very, very astringent, very chemical. And at first I thought the oats were bad. And I tossed my first batch that I toasted. I was like, well, maybe this was in my cupboard too long. So I went to the store and I bought more oats and I toasted them again. It was the same smell, which made me feel like an ass for throwing out the first batch. But I went online immediately, and of course I saw that you should toast them, 5-6 days in advance, put them in a paper bag and air them out. And I didn't have it because I toasted it on a Friday, and my brew day was on a Saturday. So I didn't have the time and the benefit of actually toasting in advance. So what did I do is I put them in a strainer, I put them on a box fan, and I just aired it out. I just aired it with circulated air overnight, and I was going to brew with it anyway. I didn't really care. I wasn't going to go turn around and just use regular oats. I was just going to see what happens. I mean, that's what brewing's all about, is experimentation and seeing what we can do. But I think the box fan worked out really well, because the finished product here, it doesn't really have, there's no real astringent, there's nothing astringent about it. It's actually good, toasty, coffee-like flavors, that dark chocolate. It's lighter than a stout. It's lighter than a porter. It's not, I mean, I could see how you can compare this to a porter, but it's definitely a dark brown ale, but it's got loads of character. It's very nice. I mashed it high for more body. I fermented it high to see if I could bring out some of the fruity esters, which were evident at the very beginning when I first kegged this and I first started sampling the worts or the beer through the fermentation process. It was delicious. I mean, I even sent some messages to Alex to let him know that it was really tasting good as a fermented product. It wasn't quite where I wanted it to be yet, but it was turning out great. It did have a wine-like characteristic, which is that fruity ester that you get from a high-temperature fermentation. My advice is, it's great to ferment it at a higher temperature. It just takes longer to mellow out afterwards. But brown ales and dark ales are always beneficial to let them age a little bit to mellow out. But it's definitely reached its prime here. So I've just been sipping on it for the last week and a half or so, and sending photos of my beer to Alex, like he cares to watch me drink beer. But definitely good stuff. Good color. Let me put that in the big glass. Good color. Good aroma. Definitely a slightly hop presence. The bitter is a good bitter. This uses Willamette. That's a good bittering hop. It's definitely that 30-something, 35-ish IBU level, but it doesn't hit you in the nose like some bittering hops do. And I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you brew different beers with different IBUs, you can have two beers that are 35, 36, 37 IBUs, but depending on the hops you use to achieve them, even if you balance them out with higher alpha acid and lower amounts, or low alpha acid and higher amounts, it's the type of hops that really makes a difference. And I think the Willamette in this achieves that bitterness, but it's not a really sharp bitterness that you'd anticipate from maybe one of the West Coast sea hops. Definitely a nice bitter in there, but it's not the star of the show, and it's just enough to shine through the Columbus hops. Like I said, I don't think the Columbus hops would have gone well with it, but now that I've had it, you know, now that I'm experiencing it and drinking it, it really pairs well. It was a good choice. Good stuff. Anyway, cheers, Alex. Thank you so much for the recipe. I didn't add coffee to this. I could totally see how coffee would go great with this. In fact, the next time I make this, I think I'm gonna do some nice Sumatra coffee or something like a nice dark roast Costa Rican coffee. And maybe a touch of lactose, because between the coffee, which is going to add a little bit of bitterness and astringency to it, it already has enough good bitterness to this. Like I said, it's not bitter. It's right on its point. And I think if I add a big hit of coffee, I'm afraid that it would maybe add an astringent note that I wasn't anticipating, or maybe a touch up on the bitter. So I think if I do that, I'll still mash it at a high temperature, but I'm also going to add maybe a touch of lactose. So you have that sweetness, that chocolatiness, that bitterness, good body. I think I will experiment with this a bit, and I'll let you know what the results are if I do it again, and hopefully I can get something online soon. Now, I know I've been chatting for about 11 minutes and some odd seconds, but all right, I'm going to cut it off here, drink my beer. It's a Thursday. It's been a long week. I have a quick day tomorrow to get by, and I've just been really busy at work. Sorry for no updates. Sorry for no brew days. We're going to have more videos soon. When I say we, I mean me. Yeah, both of me. Anyway, cheers, everybody. Go to the Alex Rock Beer blog. I'm going to put the link below. And also, if you like this, like it. Actually click the like. I see you guys getting to my channel, but like the video, and then subscribe, and then tell all your friends about it. Awesome. Cheers, everyone. Till next time.